Early settlers began to set up the first semi-permanent villages in the Nile Valley between 3500 BCE to 3400 BCE. The mighty Nile River provided irrigation for crops, as well as fish for food and a route for trade. Over time, Egypt's villages formed larger kingdoms. By around 3100 BCE, Egypt was united into a single powerful kingdom. The reign of King Narmer, also known as Menes, began the first Egyptian dynasty and established the city of Memphis. Throughout its history, Egypt had more than 30 dynasties. The earliest hieroglyphic writing in Egypt dates back to 3100 BCE. Over 700 different signs make up the picture writing. The picture symbols represent ideas and sounds. Scribes were experts in writing hieroglyphics, which were used mainly for religious inscriptions on temples and stone monuments to record the deeds of royalty. The first pyramid was built by Imhotep for King Zoser in the desert at Saqqara around 2700 BCE. It is called a step pyramid because its shape suggests a giant stairway by which the king's spirit could join the sun god. The Great Pyramid of Khufu at Giza was built around 2600 BCE. It is the world's largest stone structure and Egypt's most famous pyramid. Its more than 2.5 million stone blocks weigh on average 3 tons each, and the pyramid covers over 12 acres. It took 20 years and more than 4,000 workers to build the Great Pyramid of Giza. For over 4 centuries, Egypt enjoyed peace and prosperity. In 2200 BCE, that changed when a civil war began. Local leaders rose in rebellion against the powerful king and eventually crumbled the empire. For the next 150 years, Egypt was ruled by a number of local leaders. Then around 2055 BCE, a new king named Mentuhotep II united Egypt once again. He moved the capital from Memphis to Thebes, where he and his descendants would rule Egypt. In 1700 BCE, 2 things happened that once again shattered the peace of the Egyptian nation: a renewed civil war as well as the threat of invasion by an Asian group of nomads known as the Hyksos. Using superior weapons and technology, the Hyksos eventually conquered the Egyptians and would rule for the next century. However, the Egyptians despised them and eventually were able to overthrow them around 1550 to 1600 BCE under the pharaoh Ahmose, beginning the period known as the New Kingdom. The kings of the New Kingdom were the first to be referred to as pharaohs. This started sometime between 1554 BCE and 1304 BCE. In the beginning, Egyptians thought of their rulers as living gods. Later, they saw them as the link between the gods and the Egyptian people. Among ancient Egyptian queens, Hatshepsut stands out. She actually became pharaoh herself in 1500 BCE, serving as a powerful ruler in her own right and building one of Egypt's most spectacular temples at Thebes. In 1370, King Amenhotep IV came to power. He worshipped one god, Aten, the sun god. He changed his name to Akhenaten, and along with his wife Nefertiti, instigated a religious revolution by banning the worship of multiple gods. He is referred to as the heretic pharaoh. In 1332 BCE, son of Akhenaten, Tutankhamun took the throne and returned Egyptian religion to the worship of multiple gods. King Tutankhamun died young, but he became the most famous pharaoh when his tomb was discovered by British archaeologist Howard Carter in 1922, having lied untouched for 3,200 years. Ramses II, often called Ramses the Great, came to power in 1279 BCE. During his reign, he expanded the Egyptian empire and created a strong military. He fought in the Battle of Kadesh in 1274 BCE in an attempt to conquer Syria. Ramses II also ordered 2 temples to be carved out of the sandstone cliffs in Nubia. The Great Temple was built around 1250 BCE. The facade showed 4 versions of the king. Ramses II had more temples built than any other pharaoh. Upper and Lower Egypt split in 1100 BCE. Costly wars drained the treasury of Egypt, and weak rulers had trouble remaining in control. Its weakness attracted invaders. The Assyrians attacked and conquered Egypt in 671 BCE. Egypt was conquered by Persia in 525 BCE. In 332 BCE, Alexander the Great added Egypt to the Greek Empire. Alexander's successor, Ptolemy I, one of Alexander's generals, established a new dynasty in 305 BCE. The Ptolemaic dynasty lasted until Cleopatra and Mark Antony were defeated at the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE, at which time Egypt became part of the Roman Empire. Cleopatra's death in 30 BCE marked the end of the pharaohs of Egypt. The Rosetta Stone was carved in 196 BCE. It was discovered in 1799, at which time it made it possible to translate hieroglyphics after thousands of years.